Hello everyone, Devesh here. This is day 5 of my assignment. So let's quickly start with the assignment. Question number 1 is, what is the difference between Angular and Angular JS? So Angular and Angular JS are the front-end technologies, where front-end means to the client and development, right? It is also referred to the client and development, which takes care of visual representation of the visual pleasure for the users, right? So this is what Angular and front end technology does. So the basic or the some of the differences between Angular and Angular JS are: Angular is written in Microsoft TypeScript language, where Angular JS was written in JavaScript language. So Angular supports all mobile browsers, where Angular JS does not support any of the mobile browsers. While coming on the performance, right? The Angular has better structure and it becomes more crucial in enhancing the speed and the performance of its operation, while Angular JS has the separate two-way binding features, right? For where it requires less time and effort investment. So again, uh, we can we can say that in Angular it is easy to create project or the functional structure for any kind of project, and it is well maintainable. On the other hand, Angular JS is less manageable when compared to Angular. So these are the some differences between Angular and Angular JS. So moving to the next question, that is, what is the difference between Angular and React JS? So again, Angular and React JS both are the front end technologies. So Angular was basically developed by Google and React JS was developed by Facebook. So Angular was written in JavaScript framework using TypeScript language, right? Where React.js was developed or written or was built using JavaScript library and built using JSX, right? So this is the something different. And again, moving to that, Angular is mostly used for the complex enterprises, thread up, thread applications like single application and progressive web application. On the other hand, React.js is used to build UI components for any kind of application where data is frequently variable. So this is the basic difference again. And the Angular was developed or released in 2009 and React.js was released in 2013. So now moving to the third question, that is, list out at least 5 mobile app frameworks. So what is mobile app framework? It is a software which is designed to support the mobile application development, right? So the 5 mobile app framework is Flutter, Native Script, then Xamarin, then the fourth one is Framework 7, and the fifth one is jQuery Mobile. So these are the some mobile app framework. Now, how do we decide what backend technology we should use in our project, right? So what is backend technology? So backend technology refers to the server side of the development where user can't see that, right? So the backend technologies makes a website or the site interactive. So while choosing the application technology, uh, while choosing the technology, it affects the performance of the application, right? It can be the factor for the application success or the project success. So while choosing application, it should be performance of the application should be taken into the consideration. The next is the type of application, right? So the type of application to be built affects the choice of technology to be selected. So if technology we have selected is not suitable for the type of the application we want to build, can be the reason for the failure of that particular application. So which is not good. So taking into the consideration the type of application, we should choose the technology that we have to go for. Resource availability is again the big and the major reason while selecting the backend technology. Now the size and the complexity of the project. Here, if we want to scale up or the update the application in future, it should be easy to do that, right? It should help us to do some changes or do some updation in that particular project without affecting any other functionalities of that. So this is again what size and the complexity of the project means. The cost, right? So while you are going for a project, you must have decided some estimation for that particular project, right? So some of the technologies are open source and for the commercial use, right? But some of the technologies are licensed and the paid ones. So depending on your estimation, your cost, and you should select the backend technology for that particular project. So these are the some points that we should take into the consideration, like performance of the app, type of application, resources availability, size and complexity of the project, and the cost. Now moving to the last question, that is how we decide what kind of database we should use in our project. So what this database is, it is a setup of information which can be easily accessed, managed, and updated, right? So this is what database, the simple definition of database is. So while choosing or selecting the database, we should take into the consideration the purchase cost for that, right? Again, the costing and the estimation for your project totally depends on that, what database you should choose, right? It should include storage and the network requirement. Now moving to the next point, that is operation and management cost. So operation means it should be easy in performance tuning. It should be easy for troubleshooting the problems. It should support backup and restore data. So it should be reliable in monitoring the systems and alerting the systems. And the maintenance cost here, we can say that while it should be reasonable for upgrading and the migrating the data, that is cost required for that should be reasonable for particular maintenance, right? So this is what operation and maintenance cost mean. Now service stability. What is service stability? It should uh, it should also support the multiple data replicas, right? We can store many copies of similar data in that particular database, so it should support that, right? So then again, highly available in service, right? What does highly available in service means? It should work continuously without failure, right? So that is what highly available in service means, and that is what service stability is. Now performance. Performance again relates to latency, that is related to time. Then the query per second, right? This is what, and it should support what we can say, it should support advanced hierarchical storage features, right? So this is what regarding the performance of the particular system is. Now the scalability. Scalability means whether it is easy to horizontally and vertically scale the system. So what is horizontal and vertical scaling? So horizontal means instance can be run on different machines, but maintaining the basic properties of the database. And the vertical means just adding more computing power and more memory on the single instance. That is what vertical scalability. So taken into the consideration the whether to go for horizontal scalability or the vertical. So it should be taken into the consideration the scalability factor. Security. The security is nothing but the it should prevent information leakage, right? So taking these points in consideration, like purchase cost, operation and maintenance cost, service stability, performance, scalability, and security, we can decide what kind of database we should use in our project. So that's it for the day. Thank you.